Hello and welcome back. In this section, we're going to learn about app protection policies. To begin with that, what exactly the app protection policies? It's all about your protecting your existing corporate data information. For example, in the right side, in this corporate, whatever the corporate data is available. For example, here you can see maybe your emails, your OneDrive, your PowerPoint, your Excels, your Word files, everything is in the same device. This device is nothing but your corporate owned, or maybe it could be a personal device. But if you look at the same device also have the personal data. When I say the personal data here, there is a personal files also can be open within that notepad, within that Word or Excel or PowerPoint or maybe OneDrive. So you are opened, in fact, to utilize personal as well as the company data on that simple mobile device. So it would be difficult when it comes to the security policies, or when you wanted to protect your company information, because the corporate information or the company data, whatever it is within your Excel files or within your corporate owned applications, that shouldn't be shared with the personal applications. Let's say you want to upload this Excel file, maybe which has all the quotation information or maybe all audit reports, or which you don't want to expose to outside users, definitely. So that information accidentally or without intentionally, without uh, or with intention or without intention, maybe users try to upload to maybe a Facebook account, for example. So that would definitely leads an issue. If this application was shared either in Twitter or Facebook, it would cost the company's uh, information theft, right? So this way, if you want to protect like corporate data not to go out to personal, then you have to think about the app protection policies, and this app protection policies are available here. If you can look at here, go back to the Microsoft Intune, and then you have here client apps. Within the client apps, you have the app protection policies. This is where you're going to create a different app profile policies, either for Android or Windows 10 or iOS device specific, by selecting some of the applications. But for now, we are going to actually look into the we are going to understand more about the app protection once, and then we would jump into the demonstration. Before going to further lections, let's understand what exactly this app protection. Maybe by this time you might have understood a little bit, but let's go into further. I want to go for the next slide. Yeah. So this is the slide which talks about the application security from the Microsoft Intune. What happens is keeping your personal information is an isolated from your corporate IT awareness, so that you have the confidence on that device or on that management solution. You may think that, hey, my personal information is exposed to my corporate data. Similarly, corporate admins may think that, hey, am I exposing to my data to personal applications? In such a way, you can, if block it. These kind of isolations can be done within the app security or in the app protection altogether, and you can restrict the actions users can take with corporate information. For example, copy paste information or saving or viewing from your personal applications. Let's say example, you have an email which has a critical or sensitive data, or maybe either in email or maybe in Excel or maybe Word or in a PowerPoint, and you copy that text and you wanna paste it to in your personal data, which we wanted to block it. um, that's how it's going to work for the isolation when it comes to the app security or app protection policies. Let's also look into other consideration, like if when you're trying to removing your corporate data from your mobile apps, you're going to actually leave all the personal data as it is, but you're actually wiping up only the corporate data when the user goes maybe when he is leaving the company, for example, one of the best case, or when he lost a device, maybe he is not responding, then you can wipe up the corporate data, but you can keep his personal data. You can manage in that way. Now, one other way Microsoft Intune actually provides the mobile app security is with the app protection policies feature, and these app protection policies uses basically in the Azure identity to isolate your corporate data. Um, for your identity purpose. We're going to talk about why we are talking about Azure AD identity in this specific sentence here, and the data that is accessed using the corporate credentials will be given additional corporate protection. We also talk about these two sentences in a minute. Let's jump into that now. This configuration of your app protection, protecting your application data, can be configured in total three ways. One would be the let me draw here maybe the first one would be the you can enroll the devices to the Microsoft Intune. That means let's take one example. You have already a device, and the device was given by corporate. That means the device you're going to automatically enrolling into your Microsoft Intune. So that's nothing but your corporate owned devices. So these machines can be protected your app data. And the second case would be the third-party mobile devices, device management solutions. Let's take one example. Maybe you're managing with not with the Intune, but maybe AirWatch or some other third-party MGM solution, but you wanna control them. Then you can do that with the help of uh, uh, app protection. You know why and how this is going to happen. If you can go back to the this statement, we said that the app protection policies uses Azure identity, because whatever the identity we are giving, the users are actually trying to access on other third-party MDM, but the user is coming from our Azure identity. That's where we are going to apply the policy. That's where we are actually uh, isolating those corporate data. And coming back to the other one, the devices are not enrolled. Even though you can manage the app protection by configuring a secure pin, or maybe other configurations can be done. So these devices are typically, if you can think about it, it's going to be bring your own devices, or you request your users to use their mobile devices. So the users are using their own devices, but you want to manage them at the corporate level only. That means the corporate applications only you want to protect it, and if you want to wipe up, you are going to wipe only the corporate data, not their personal data. That's how you're going to do it. So total app protection can be done in three ways. One for the devices that are enrolled already into Microsoft Intune. That means Intune agent is available on that devices. The second one would be the devices are managed by third party, and the third one would be the devices do not have Intune agent, but still you can manage it. So that's all about the Microsoft Intune app protection policies. Let's have a look on it how this looks like. So if you take a simple example here, you have the corporate uh, data. Here also you have the personal data within the same phone or within the same device maybe. So what happens is, if a user want to share maybe from the Facebook by using, or maybe by using OneDrive, or maybe by using Twitter, is going to copy paste this data here, and he can send it to the external world. That's how it's gonna happen if you don't have the Intune, or if you are not configuring app protection. But what if you configured Intune? So what happens is it actually corporate data. If you can look at here, this is will be in a isolation. This is a separate isolation, and this is the personal device personal data also going to be a different isolation. So you have here the lock between your corporate and your personal data. So you can't, some of the application may be using both the sides, but you can't share the data. That's how you're going to use it. This is what we try to explain here out of all these slides here. Let's also understand now here we do have here MAM or MAM policies. What exactly MAM? MAM stands for here. It's all about the app protection, but you need to remember few of the terminology. If you can remember my few of the first slides, like we explained few of the terminologies. Now, MAM stands for Mobile Application Management. That's purely relevant to your app protection. So either you read as a MAM or app protection, one and the same, at least for us, for the entire course. Now let's now we also need to understand two more different words or terminology specific to app protection policies. One would be the app protection global policy. There is a policy which you create at the top level or the root level, that's called global policy. So these are the policies which applies for everyone or every user within your tenant. That's called the global policy. For example, you want to apply some kind of specific setting for OneDrive or SharePoint. For globally, you can do that from the global policies. Now there's some other term called multi identity. Let's take or let's dig into different way. Like if you take OneDrive as an application, so what happens is the same OneDrive application has the when you try to input your personal identity, it will log into OneDrive.com with the personal identity. At the same time, when you give the identity login with your corporate data or corporate identity, it's going to log in with the corporate ID. So the same application actually has the multiple identities. So this is nothing but the multi-identity. In such situations, how you're going to manage your app protection, that's the key. So this knows Intune knows the how Intune knows basically this multi-identity context or work context in other ways. So whether this is coming from personal or it's coming from the uh, work. So it knows that the context of that profile which is coming, and based on that it's going to apply the specific policies. So these are the two other words I wanted to just cover, and the remaining policies which we are going to talk about how to create the specific to app protection policies, we would be looking into the next lectures. Thank you for watching this.